Hi, Kylee. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I know it's a little early for you.
It's okay. It's
I remember
fine.
last week you said that you're not very much a morning person.
I am not. I'm working on it, but no, I am not.
Did you do anything exciting this week?
This week, so I did actually go on a hike with a friend of mine.
Oh.
We went out to Picture Canyon. That's kind of our place because we went the previous week as well.
Yeah, I remember you saying you went there
Yeah, so we went out to Picture Canyon again, and then this week, nothing too exciting. I mean, I went to work. A coworker of mine needed some extra help this week, so I did some extra shifts this week at work. But some more activity. But other than that, nothing too different about my week this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to hear you went for a hike. That sounded like you had a good time.
Yeah.
So how was sticking to your goals this week?
It went really well. So we had our session. We usually have our sessions on Sunday. I started working towards my goals on Tuesday, and I did the next 3 days, and then again on Saturday. So I did Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I made breakfast again on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
I got up really early on Saturday. Yeah.
Well, so it sounds like you took a lot away from our session last week.
I did.
Not only, because just to reiterate, your goal was to do 3 days in a row, and that was all we were talking about, is just to do the 3 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But not only did you do the 3 days in a row, because we also talked about how if you didn't feel comfortable doing it 3 days in a row, you were going to just do it 3 days out of the week. But not only did you do it 3 days in a row, but you did an extra day out of it. I did. So it sounds like you did really good, and it sounds like you're really motivated. So I'm really happy to hear that.
Thank you. Yeah, I woke up really, really early on Saturday. I just couldn't sleep, but yeah.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, because you said you weren't really a morning person.
No.
We already said that, but
yeah.
I'm really happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Did you notice any changes in your energy levels or your mood this week?
So I do notice I'm pretty low energy in general, but I do notice when I get up early, and because I have a morning routine anyway, but when I add more to my morning routine, when I make the effort to get up early and try to accomplish more in the mornings, I have more motivation at work. So it's the difference between, say I get up at my usual time, I do my usual morning routine, and I get there, and they're like, okay, we have 20 dogs today, and I'm like, okay, 20 dogs. But then if I make the effort to get up earlier and try to accomplish more in my mornings, and then I get to work and someone says, okay, we have 20 dogs today, I'm like, okay, 20 dogs, let's go.
Oh.
So I do notice that I get more motivated if I have more of a structured morning routine, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it sounds like you're a structure-oriented person.
I am, yeah.
And this week you did definitely notice a change in your energy level. Maybe not so much like, you went out and ran 20 miles, but you said that when you got to work this week and you were told, like, hey, you have 20 million dogs.
Yeah.
Maybe not 20 million, but you got 20 million dogs. Instead of being like, oh, man.
Yeah.
You were more like, okay, I'm ready to take
my
this
attitude
challenge.
is better about it.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very happy to hear that. Yeah. So would you say that kind of goes into your mood? Would you say that maybe you had a more positive attitude about going to work or something like
Yes, I would definitely say getting up and just kind of making more efforts to have a positive day, definitely affects my mood,
Awesome.
Like for the rest of the day,
Well, I'm really happy to hear that. It sounds like you're very dedicated to making this change. I mean, like I said, not only did you do it more than you made your breakfast more than you were, more than we set for your goal, but you're also, your attitude just seems different today. It seems like you're really calm and not very, I mean, you weren't irritable last time. Right. But you seemed very...
But it does help with irritability when you get up and make efforts to just get going.
Yeah, so it sounds like for you, since
gives
you are...
momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like since you are a structure-oriented person, we've discovered something that can really work for you. in the future, so that way you know that it does really help with your attitude, not just, with weight loss and nutrition, but it helps with your attitude as well. So that's really
absolutely
good.
I work better with guidelines.
Okay, awesome. So do you think there will be any barriers keeping you from making these changes? Because I know this is our last session together, but I just want to know, do you think, what are some potential barriers that you may have coming in the future?
In the future, so I don't know if we've ever talked about this before, but I struggle with like anxiety and depression, and like I said, I get irritable sometimes, and so like in the morning, if I'm feeling depressed or anxious or just downright irritable, I just don't want to get out of bed, and so I feel like that could inhibit me from getting going and starting my day on a positive note.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it sounds like with some of the things that you struggle with, like the anxiety and the depression, it does sound like it might be a little bit of a barrier for you, because you have a hard time feeling motivated, because like you said, you want to lay in bed and, and that's
just not
perfectly
face the day.
You don't have to be perfect. So I guess my next question would be, how do you think, when you're feeling that way, is there anything that has happened in the past that maybe helps you get that motivation to get up and get out of bed?
So nothing that I've noticed so far. I mean, there's things that I've just started to do lately. So I go to a support group once a week, and someone suggested to me to kind of, for lack of a better word, jolt yourself awake. You can take a big glass of water and just wake yourself up in the morning like that, or you can try journaling, just something to get your brain going in the morning, and just to start your day off maybe in a way that you want to, instead of being like, oh, okay, now I wake up, now I have to go to work, instead of thinking like, okay, yeah, you have to go to work, but there's also things that you can do that you want to do in between. And so that's kind of something I've been doing lately that kind of helps.
Good.
I've noticed, yeah.
That's good. So just to kind of redirect to maybe the more positive route, is there anything, or how do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? How confident do you feel about making some positive changes in your life, as like what we've talked about, as far as making your breakfast in the morning or continuing your physical activity goals?
Right now I feel a 7.
A 7? Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's better, because I think when we started on your survey, it said a 4.
Yeah.
And 3 points is quite a bit. So I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
So now that you've done these goals, and we've kind of met a few times and talked about it, how do you feel about yourself? Do you feel pretty good about yourself? Do you feel kind of indifferent?
I think I feel better about myself, in terms of like, I feel like I have more tools and more motivation to change.
Okay.
I like, particularly when someone works with me to make the changes. I'm not the type of person that, you have to work with me. You can't just tell me what to do and then leave me off on my own. So I do feel, because we've worked together, I do feel more confident that I can, I do feel more confident in the tools that I have to make the positive improvements in my life. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
So it sounds like this week was really beneficial for you, because not only did you increase your physical activity level, then because you went for that extra hike, but you sound like you had a lot of dogs this week too.
Yeah.
If you had 20 dogs one day out of the week. And so it sounds like you're really motivated to make these changes. I know we're not going to meet again, but it sounds like I said, you're really motivated to make these changes, and I'm really happy to hear that, because it sounds like you're really dedicated, and it just makes me happy to see that, because it
Thank
makes me
you.
feel like I've helped you.
I appreciate your help.
And it sounds like you were saying you definitely need someone in your life who can not necessarily tell you what to do,
Yeah.
but maybe, you know, encourage you and say, you know, how can we fix this, and ask you more questions rather than, you know, make statements.
Be
and
all
say.
up in my face. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so just to conclude our session, is there anything else that you want to talk about? Maybe make a long-term goal that you want to set?
Yeah. I would like to start learning how to, I know we've talked about this before, but start learning how to cook healthier. Because I think that's also part of my problem, and why I lean more towards going out to eat more often, is because I don't know how to cook healthy things. And so I think if I had, I think if I grew in that area, then that would be very beneficial to me.
And do you mind if I share maybe some tips on how to do that?
Absolutely.
So I benefit a lot from using Pinterest. I basically type in the search engine healthy, easy meals or healthy crock pot meals, just something, because I know you have I saw a crock pot in here somewhere.
Yeah.
And it sounds like when you're really tired, because we talked about how you get really tired when you're off work. So maybe something, what you could do is meal prep on Sundays, and have meals ready to heat up for dinner, whatever you may, whatever meal you want to do. And then another thing you could do is get either a crock pot recipe book, or go on Pinterest again, and make your meal in advance. So you could get up in the morning. You don't have to get up super early. And then just, you know, put everything in a crock pot, whether it's a stew or a casserole or whatever you want to do, and then just have it cook all day. And then when you get home,
it's ready to go.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it was really a pleasure to meet with you, and I'm sorry we can't meet again, but it was really nice working with you, and I'm very happy to hear how you've been doing. So.
Thank you, and I appreciate all your help.
Awesome. Well, I hope you have a good day.
Thank you.